Welcome back, everybody, to another presentation of Mars Revealers, Mars Anomalies, and Archaeology. We got an awesome find for you all to check out today, as we're going to be studying a pyramid crater of Mars. That's right, another one, not just like the one I found there in Elysium, Planitia, but that one was just as an example. Like I said, I found quite, I wouldn't say many, but I found at least a dozen of pyramid craters, meaning what? That this is not just a fluke of just some happenstance, that this is an actual constructional mindset in the eyes of the ancient ones that put these there on Mars, and sculpted up its surface. So again, this is part one, the pyramids of Mars, fortresses of the ancient ones. Part two will be put out next week, and I showed this on the Ryan files with Ryan Pelton, a month or so ago, and he turned it, it's like a fortress, and he's got a good eye. He would be a good anomalist because he has a good eye, because seeing in this so-called crater appears to be also another underlying structure that's buried or just part of it. Like this whole thing was dug out, for an underlying structure for which this pyramid is basically the main head of his fortress, which is walled. Notice this crater wall is also geometric in shape, right angles and whatnot. It's just very interesting, bizarre world stuff. Again, this is an amazing find. This is one of my more enjoyed findings that amongst the favorites of many. But again, these are no small feats in nature, okay? But here's a Mars Odyssey view. Lower resolution than the one we just seen from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter context camera. This is a Mars Odyssey view. Of course, you have my big face in that way there. Damn it. Sorry about that. Anyway, so as you can see, this thing stands out. We have like 3 images from Mars Odyssey of various lighting angles that still show that this thing is definitely what it appears to be, a pyramid crater. So let's go to the second one. I got to figure out how to take out my screen window here when I'm presenting images, but that's all right in time. Just bear with me. So here's another Mars Odyssey view, not as high resolution as the last one we've seen, but slightly lower, and lo and behold, in different lighting position. Very incredible. You can make out its details, its geometrical aspects to it. An even lower resolution one. I didn't get no daytime infrareds or anything, though it's available for this, but it would be even lower resolution. I think that these three are good enough with different sun positions that show, hey, this thing is definitely standing out. This thing is definitely there. There's no mistake about it. So again, we have not just one image, we have multiple images, which are also sources coming from a different sources. So and there's a Mars Express view. Alright, a color version of the Mars Express view. Very interesting. Lots of details that won't be discussed now. I don't want to rant on for an hour about it. But this is really incredible. As this, again, no small feats of wonder, as the pyramid itself is 1.5 miles long, wide. Rather, 1.5 miles wide. It's just as wide as the face of Cydonia is long. You know what I'm saying? So this, again, is no small feat of wonder. All right, the rim of the so-called crater edge is 4 miles. Interesting. Now, from the bottom rim of the crater, so-called crater, going up to the back of the pyramid, including that, since they're all part of one structure, this can be seen and seen in multiple images, is 5 miles in length. Again, 5 miles in length. Again, no small feat of wonder, huh? There's a better view I processed from the raw data of the Mars Express. Let's look in to see the details, the tattoo of which NASA imagery isn't really able to show us or to reveal to us. Even though this is a lower resolution comparable to the best Odyssey resolution that we've seen. But what was missing from that Odyssey image, right? Even at that resolution, the tattoo. The details of that are really there, okay? That's being obscured, obfuscated, maybe by innocence, because this Odyssey does not have the same capability on board able to see the tattoo as the Mars Express does. But it's definitely great to help get international collaboration using studying the same area, the same features with various capabilities and the things that we get to see and learn that really make you question even if any of these craters are real craters at all, because as you can see, they're in an artistic network of patternings. These are not imaging artifacts. They're not, false image data. There was nothing wrong with the data at all. This is what the abilities of the Mars Express camera is, and I have also exposed this and revealed this for the face of Cydonia and the Mars Express image data, and tattooed arscapes that the face of Cydonia sits on as well. You can see the same mindset of structural integrity going on for miles and miles. Again, remember, this is 5 miles end to end when you include the pyramid here, from the back all the way to here is 5 miles. So these features, one could say, well, maybe those look like roads. When you're looking down that city, it looks like roads. Okay, fair enough. Either way, these features are there. Is it roads? Is it cities that we're looking at? I mean, you tell me. Again, let's look at this from the perspective. You can still even kind of see it in their color image data. I bring some of it out more here. Let me go backward. And the colors actually help bring out the tattoo more. And I will be making better presentations of that color data so you can see that, and also to help enhance and bring out the surrounding features all the more of what we're seeing here, of all these grid patterns. Again, these are not image artifacts, JPEG artifacts. But look, where do you see it in Odysseys, right? But when we match up the data, which I will in the upcoming book that I'm going to be doing, The Pyramids of Mars, Oasis of the Damned, this will be included, and I will have studies to detail about these features. Now, what I'm going to say now is when we compare them, which we will in that book, or maybe future videos even to correspond for the book that I will present here, you will be able to see the points of data that do match up with the grids that we're able to see from Mars Express. The grids are, for lack of a better term, for people to follow and understand what I'm saying. But it does put a different outlook on what NASA shows us in higher resolution, while yet though Mars Express in lower resolution appears to show us the tattoo. So again, it's not just a fault of NASA. They could blame them for it. They could just say, hey, we don't have that equipment on board. Whatever it is that Mars Express allows it to see the features in a more realistic way of what's really there. Like I said, in my opinion, for many, many years, that Mars is artistically sculpted on an entire planetary scale. And when we see shit like this is just adding, more evidence to, the data pool of what my words are stating. I'm not the one that's talking shit here. It's always NASA. Again, for everyone that would want to know, and those that want to experiment, there's the coordinates. There's the coordinates. God forbid you need the coordinates. Well, there you have it. Go to it, validate it, try to debunk it. Because anything that I present, I always also put forth so it makes it harder for anyone to debunk it. Okay? And because there's a lot of things that I discover in these images about these features that many people won't even notice or look at, but again, it's going to be published in the book, The Faces of Mars. The Pyramids of Mars, Oasis of the Damned. Getting excited, running a little bit ahead of myself there, huh? So, again, what are these? No small feats of wonder. This is a mindset that the Martians have with pyramid craters. There's not just one like the one I discovered and showed there in Elysium Planitia a couple presentations ago. Check that out. That there's more in various types of kinds. I found, at least a dozen. And various sizes and various conditions and whatnot. But what's always pronounced is, no matter how it looks or the condition, is the pyramid, or what once was a pyramid, that appears molded and fashioned and or sculpted into the actual crater itself, which common sense should bring us all to conceive and wonder that these aren't real craters at all for a lot of them. They had other purposes. How do we know? Well, we got to go there and check it out. Then we got to adapt our thinking, because since they're not home, is our inheritance. And there are those that want to keep us away from our inheritance while they gain the cosmos for themselves. That's not the way it's going to work, isn't it, people? So again, there's the coordinates. So with that being said, I'm going to start working on part 2 of the Pyramids of Mars. Fortresses of the Ancient Ones. And we got like a 12-minute long video to show you again from the data that shows that this is no small feat of wonder. And again, from shape from shadow, that helps you understand better actually what it is than what a two-dimensional image you can only theorize from or guess from, but actually get a ground's eye view, and a bird's eye view of it, spinning around the feature. So to better appreciate and understand what it is we're seeing two-dimensionally. It brings it more to life, pun intended. And in that reality, it helps you better to see and understand that what we're dealing with here is what they're really looking down at, and what their real interest in Mars is. Not the microbes, not whether it was alive or not at one time. It's all of this stuff that they're looking down at and seeing and finding, like I am here in the images that are publicly given by them. Okay? So, for us to find. And obviously, I'm finding them. So, this is to show the reality of whoever these ancient ones were, let alone potentially could still be are, whether subsurface illegals still on there on Mars, or inside Mars, or that left long ago as a breakaway civilization from this nuclear war that Dr. John Brandenburg had laid out in a scientific fact. So that took place there, 2 nukes being detonated at Chrysa Planitia, where the Viking landed, and Utopia Planitia / Galaxia's Chaos, where also the other Viking landed. At both sites tested positive for signs of past life. Yet they won't send any more light detection experiments because they didn't expect to find life. Long story, and I could rant on forever about it. But let's just put it this way. They know what's there. And this is what's really there. And they don't want us to really know about. But they don't talk about either. They obfuscate or shy away. But we're coming at a time now where listeners who know me and appreciate the things I say and do, we're at a time now where we must be told. The data's there. You just got to learn to see it and then deal with it and then adapt to it. So that being the case, enjoy this video. Pack them, smoke them. You're definitely going to need them. And just sit there and ponder yourself. Because it gives you, again, a fly around bird's eye view of what features that we're actually seeing two-dimensionally could help bring to life, pun intended. And appreciate their architecture and archaeology all the more. And then fathom, was this humans or not? Is that the most important question? Was this done by man? It's man-made! Oh, look, it's man-made! It's man-made! Look, it looks designed, therefore it's man-made. Not true. We're not the grandest thing in the universe. This shows us we're not alone in the universe. And it comes in many different shapes and forms and sizes and species, let alone intelligence coming through each of those in some form or another. So with that being said, enjoy it until the next one. Peace out.
Ever wondered about the mysteries of Mars? Curious about what lies beyond mere tricks of light and shadow? The Faces of Mars. Beyond mere tricks of light and shadow is the go-to exploration. For those captivated by the infamous face on Mars, it's been over 20 years since any substantial dive into this enigma. Struggling to find modern updates or serious research on its extraterrestrial origins? This book delivers a riveting continuation, packed with new image data that sheds light on Mars' curious alien techno-signature design. Perfect for anyone seeking to unravel these mysteries? Feel the intrigue and uncover the secrets and the NASA deceptions today.